Rumors have flown for years about the dating habits of players, but occasionally, a celebrity relationship makes it into the open. Despite the money and fame, sometimes NBA girlfriends make you wonder if they have a good personality. But don't worry, that's not why we're here. Today, it's all about the players who dated gorgeous celebrities. Excited yet? J.R. Smith and Rihanna. J.R. Smith has quite the career as an electric but streaky scorer during his 16-season career. You may remember him mostly for his three-point spot-up shooting in several NBA Finals for the Cavs, and you most definitely remember him for making one of the most boneheaded plays in NBA history in Game 1 of the 2018 Finals. In his early days with the Denver Nuggets, JR could frequently be seen out late in the clubs with teammate Carmelo Anthony. This was on nights before games. The poor boys were both trying to keep up with the superhuman endurance of AI, who, like Jordan, was rumored to sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. Smith would take his nightlife talents with him to the city that never sleeps to join the Knicks. While out enjoying the New York scene in 2012, Smith was spotted in several clubs, hanging out with none other than Rihanna. Soon afterwards, the pop star was spotted at Madison Square Garden. What happened next? Smith would have a terrible shooting night, and then tabloid photos would emerge of JR and Rihanna in a club the night before a game. Knicks fans quickly had JR's nightlife on watch. No one knows for how long the relationship lasted before flaming out, but it became a public feud for years. A feud that was capped off after a dismal playoff performance in 2014. Rihanna took to Twitter saying, "You and your whack-ass team. Nobody don't want that desert-thirsty. He f***ed up because his ass be hungover from clubbing every night during the playoffs. Please never change, JR." Dennis Rodman, Madonna. During the 90s, the NBA game was slow-paced and full of grit and grind. No player represented this more than one Dennis Rodman, a founding member of the Bad Boy Pistons. Dennis was known for his rebounding and hard-nosed defense, but shortly after becoming a San Antonio Spur, Rodman went full Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man and bleached his hair. In fact, Rodman became known for almost anything besides his play on the court. Besides wondering what hair color or piercing he would get next, many focused on his on-court antics, getting technicals and dumb fouls. His impact on the Spurs was hard to gauge. He didn't fit in with the culture there, but they needed his 17 rebounds per game to progress in the West playoffs. While rumors have been flying around, it was during the first round of the 1994 playoffs that Madonna was spotted in the stands cheering on the Worm. She even joined him in Salt Lake City to watch games 3 and 4, but the surrounding hoopla was much bigger than the on-the-court product. In 4 games, Dennis the Menace was unable to slow down Karl Malone, and the Spurs lost the series 3-1. In an interview recently, Rodzilla had this to say about the relationship, claiming the Virgin offered him $20 million to get her pregnant. Madonna talked all the time about having a baby. I think she wanted every bit of Dennis Rodman. Marriage, kids, everything. At one point, while he was gambling in Vegas, I picked up the phone, and Madonna was like, I'm ovulating. Oh, young love. Tony Parker, Eva Longoria, Coach Pop, and the San Antonio Spurs front office are well respected throughout the league. They develop players and have stayed competitive for over 2 decades, winning 5 titles in 15 seasons. They mostly have players who keep out of trouble and let their on-the-court play do the talking. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, hell, even Kawhi boardman gets paid Leonard. So we find it amusing that yet another Spur makes a splash onto this list. But Tony Parker wasn't like most NBA players. For starters, he was French, and no one understands love and romance like the French. We shouldn't have been surprised to find out that Tony had caught the eye of the ultra-gorgeous Eva Longoria. The couple first met in 2004, and according to the Desperate Housewives star, it was lust at first sight. The couple was married in France, but as soon as the honeymoon started, the tabloids were already stirring. A French model claimed to have slept with Tony. Maybe it was a sign of things to come. The couple split in 2011 after 4 years of marriage. Why do you ask? Because Tony was caught sexting with none other than teammate Brent Barry's wife, Erin. Frenchie gonna French, right Tony? Oui oui. Nick Young, Iggy Azalea. In his 12 seasons playing in the NBA, Swaggy P was known for a few things. In limited playing time, he was gonna get up his shots, and no one was gonna stop him. And was also played for 6 different teams, becoming a household name while playing 4 seasons with the Lakers. But the other thing that Nick Young was known for? Dating Australian-born rapper Iggy Azalea. And of course, the couple met while the Bean Burrito was chucking away in La La Land. After a few years of dating, the couple became engaged. Soon afterwards, teammate D'Angelo Russell leaked out a video of Young onto social media. In the post, Swaggy P admitted he was cheating on Azalea, and the engagement was off. but Iggy was able to forgive, and soon the couple was back together before breaking up again in 2016. According to Azalea, she had caught Young with several women over while she was away. He was caught red-handed by security cam footage. While playing for the Warriors in 2018, Uncle P had this to say: "I went from being snitched on to about to put a ring on. There it is, folks. Cheating wins." Chris Humphries. You may not have heard of Chris Humphries, the basketball player, but you may have heard of Chris Humphries, the reality star. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Drafted by the Utah Jazz in 2003, Chris played 13 years in the league. His peak season was starting for the New Jersey Nets in the 2011-2012 season, where he averaged nearly 14 points and 11 rebounds per game. But the real story about Chris was all about what happened in his life leading up to that season. You see, in the early 2010s, you would have been living under a rock to not have heard of Humphries. The reason? He was dating the voluptuous, formerly of Kim Kardashian. In fact, during his courtship with Kim, he had a starring role in the TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, topping the whole thing off with a $2 million engagement ring and TV-produced wedding. But only later did it come out that the couple was having problems before they were actually married. The engagement was only 90 days before the wedding, but the marriage was even shorter, only 72 days. Kim said she knew Chris wasn't the one the second they moved in together. Writing for the Players Tribune, Chris talked about the 72-day marriage, stating, "It sucked. It's never easy to go through embarrassment. It was brutal, and NBA fans gave Chris a hard time for several years." He wrote, "Why exactly are they booing me? Is it just because I'm that guy from TV? Do they think I was just trying to be famous? All we know is that Keeping Up with the Kardashians didn't boost Chris's career, as well as Kim's tape with Ray J boosted hers. Kendall. Oh boy, where do we begin? For this next one, we are definitely keeping up with the Kardashians. Well, the Kardashian-Jenner family. While Kim may be the most famous Kardashian, Kendall is definitely the most famous Jenner. And she makes this list not one, not two, but 3 times. And there are more. Honorable shout out to Jordan Clarkson. But this video can't be so long. Kendall first announced herself to the NBA world while skipping around LA with Blake Griffin in the summer of 2017. Blake even dropped his fiancée and the mother of his 2 children to date the supermodel. But the couple wasn't built to last and fizzled out in 2018 when Blake's LA comic circuit appearances were canceled as he got traded to the Detroit Pistons. Not one to rest on her laurels, Kendall was soon spotted in public with perennial Rookie of the Year, Ben Simmons. Soon, Kendall was seen regularly at Sixers games in Philly and on the road. On pause in 2019, the couple seemed back on track when seen together for New Year's Eve. It appears they grew apart during the COVID pandemic, but don't worry about Miss Jenner. Rumors started flying last year, and later it was announced on Instagram that Kendall and Devin Booker are an official quarantine couple. And with all the traveling they have been doing together, we're not sure they care much for the lockdowns or coronavirus protocols. But despite his best efforts, D-Book's romantic outings with Kendall haven't been able to slow down the Suns. Kendall was called out on NBA Twitter for being passed around the league by its players. Her response? "They act like I'm not full in control of where I throw this cooch. We couldn't have said this better ourselves, Kendall." And there you have it, everyone. NBA players with some of the most gorgeous women. And it's really just the tip of the iceberg. These guys get paid millions to play a game and date beautiful women. Life just isn't fair. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one.